Can the brand new Callaway Rogue ST Pro irons keep up with the best irons of 2021? Let's find out right now. Whew, that wasn't a very good tee shot. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Alex here at GolfMagic, and today you're joining me at, it actually is a wonderful sunny day here in the southeast of England, probably the first one we've had in 2022, and that's why I'm bringing the heat as well with the Callaway Rogue Pro ST irons against the 2021 TaylorMade P790s. On first glance, these irons look quite similar from its design and what their actual aims are, but there's quite a big difference in price. I'm going to talk about why that is. The TaylorMade P790s for 2021 were the third iteration of the P790 family and came with a brand new design that looked more like the P770s. They are a player's iron that looks and tries its hardest to be like a blade, but with more forgiveness, performance, stronger lofts, meaning that you're going to get more distance and ball speed. When I reviewed these earlier in 2021, I was blown away by the ball flight of these irons. They were low spinning, but they had a high loft, a high apex, so you could still get some nice spin on the greens. Fast forward to January 2022, Callaway come out with their new Rogue ST range. But what caught a lot of people's eye were the Rogue ST Pro irons, a player's iron that comes around in a yearly cycle, but with a brand new aesthetic. It looks quite similar to the P790s, and it's got the exact same lofts as well, which I'll put up on the screen for you now. Being a yearly cycle with the Rogue ST Pro range, they're gonna be a bit cheaper, a lot cheaper for an RRP, as you can see on the screen now. Why is this? Well, there's a few reasons, and the one main reason I will say is durability. An iron that's gonna come around in a yearly cycle, especially the Rogue ST Pro, I don't think they're going to be as durable as the TaylorMade P790s. You can see with that glossy finish after time, that will wear quite considerably. So for an iron set that is a bit cheaper, you would probably see them gaining quite a lot of little marks everywhere over a few years of use. Will that affect their performance? Not at all. But how do they directly compare? An iron that has the exact same loft as each other, there's not going to be actually too much differences when we're going to talk about numbers. I took both these irons to Silvermere Golf Club to put them up on the Full Swing studio, and they were very similar numbers. But there was one key point here, or actually two key points, that I would say is quite a significant difference between them. This is all before we're talking about sound and feel. They both went similar numbers, so for a 7 iron about 200 yards or so, and that's with 30.5 degrees of loft, pretty standard. I'm hitting it a decent length now, as you can see, but the main thing that I saw was the spin rate and the apex. The TaylorMade has a higher apex, as I mentioned in my earlier review, more of a tour flight, so it rises really high up and then drops still at 200 yards. That with a slightly higher spin did mean it went slightly shorter than the Callaway Rogue ST Pros, but the Callaway Rogues had slightly lower spin and also a slightly lower launch, meaning that I would, and I have been, struggling to hold some greens on those longer iron shots because the ball flight necessarily isn't optimal. Now, this can be fixed with a custom fitting in a shaft, but from a base level, the Callaways are a just slightly lower launching, lower spinning club. Straight as a bullet, that one. Oh, I'm not laying up on that one, am I? I hope the tracer picked that one up because they look pretty good. But in those two shots, I could easily see what I'm about to talk about now, which is the feel of these clubs. The TaylorMade P790 family has always been described as being very hot off the face, and that actually had some problems to begin with because people actually struggled with their distances, myself included. With the second iteration, I could hit a 7 iron anywhere from 190 to 220 yards if it hit like an absolute bullet. What they've done in the third iteration is they've kept that feel. They've made it a little bit softer for a hollow body iron, but they've made it so it's now more consistent with that tour optimal ball flight. The Callaway Rogue ST Pro is along the same lines. It's got a nice tour ball flight, a little bit lower, but the main difference here is that feel, because being a hollow body iron, it doesn't have the same performance and positive feedback from off-center strikes. You can notice quite instantly hitting both of them out of the middle, there is quite a significant difference. The Callaway Rogue ST Pros do feel a lot more hollow, still a really nice feeling club, but I think the work that TaylorMade have put into the P790 family over a 2-year product cycle means that you do have a really positive feel, and that's across the entire club face. It may seem like I'm being quite mean to Callaway on first impressions here, and I don't mean that at all. It's just, I think TaylorMade really has a justifiable price for the P790s of 2021. But when we're narrowing it down, really talking about the actual Callaway Rogue ST Pro irons, I don't think you'll find a player's iron that is better value for money. Oh, you're kidding. Ah, miss. Sometimes I feel like if you're getting a product that is on a yearly cycle, it's sometimes a bit discouraging because you get it and then in 12 months later, there's a brand new model that you want. It's like, why did I buy these? But when I'm looking at the Callaway Rogue ST Pros, they are such a nice improved aesthetic. That's not going to be that important, especially with the price as well. I think you're going to be happy to have these in your bag for at least 3 to 4 years. So I hit a few shots with both of these now, about 3 or 4 each. There's about 20-mile-an-hour wind in my face, so I've got myself on the largest green on the course. No excuses though. Take it, wind. Oh, see, that's the problem there. That was probably about a 170-yard shot, and I was thinking the wind's going to take it. That's the shot. Oh, it's just short. There you go. I'm so bad. If you are thinking which iron you should choose from between these two wonderful Players irons, I think the main thing is price for everyone. There's a big difference in price here, even with the reductions that we're going to get over the next few months or so. And if you want these irons for as long as possible, the P790s are the ones to go for. They will be a bit more durable, especially in that aesthetic point of view. They will look pretty much the same now as they will do after 2 years of use. Whereas with the Callaway Rogue ST Pro irons, because they are such a glossy finish, you're a bit concerned about that actual finish wearing away over time, and it would look a little bit different, a little bit worn. That is the main deciding factor here for me. But when we're going into the nitty gritty parts of it, yes, the TaylorMades do feel a little bit nicer across the entire face, across the toe and out of the heel. You do get still quite a positive feedback. You do get the same with the Rogue ST Pro, but they have a little bit more of a hollow feel on those off-center strikes. If you have any questions about these irons today, guys, let me know. They are very similar to each other, but as I've said, the Rogue ST Pro irons slightly worse feel and sound, but just a little bit. Kind of makes up for it with the price. If you are new to GolfMagic, guys, hit that subscribe button down below. It helps us a lot, and we've got some more very exciting videos and comparisons coming soon. Smash a like if you enjoyed. I'm going to now finish off the rest of these holes and try and work on my game so I don't hit so many awful shots in the next video. I'll see you guys later.